Hello, Frankie Nicole here, but you can call me Aphrodite or Athena, Roman goddess. I'm feeling very royal today. So I have a couple of cards that didn't make it back into my box that actually ended up getting wet on the bedside table because I spilled a glass of water, because that's what I do. I spill things. I'm a klutz. I'm an adorable klutz. Hilarious, adorable klutz who sometimes spills things, knocks things over, bruises herself on her legs, overflows sinks, clogs toilets, you name it. I have done it, and I'm not ashamed because they're all just wonderful quirks. That is the landscape that is me. And I know you're probably thinking gross, but whatever. So, I wanted to talk today about readiness and lessons. I was kind of spurred by a thumbs down that I got on one of these videos, and I don't want to dwell on it because I don't really care, but sometimes the thing that you're most resistant to learning the lesson or hearing, you hear something, you're like, oh no, that's malarkey, pure malarkey. The thing that you resist and you just say, no, I don't, that's not what I want. You're wrong. You're completely crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. Um, it's the lesson that you need to learn the most. We're not always ready for what the universe has to teach us because sometimes we haven't quite got there yet. Sometimes we're not paying attention. Sometimes we are stuck in our old mindset, mind frame. And this week is definitely a gateway opening to a new dimension, a new changing of the guards. So we're leveling up. We're becoming quicker learners, not so deceived by um, the past or what we might have thought. Um, but it is always for our highest good and benefit to learn the lesson and evolve, constantly striving to be a better person every day. Because if you're not trying to go towards something, you're actually regressing, because we never stay still. You never stay the same. You actually start to regress. And it's really important to always continue to move forward along with things. So with that, I'm going to move over to my love note that was especially calling to me today because it was one of the things that got wet too. So, real wonderful love is coming to you. I read that one before, but called to me again today. Today is master number 22, and this is the reading for tomorrow. But it's whatever form it's taking, this love, it's real and it's coming and it's staying and it's going to be there for you, and you can trust in it. And I know that lots of people have trust issues. I personally have lots of trust issues because I've been betrayed many times in my life, and it's hard to even fathom that you could be able to trust another human again, especially when everybody is acting according to their own will, and most people's wills are not positive or trying to be constructive or moving forward. They're regressing, and it's so hard to find somebody who's regressing, and as you're moving forward, you guys are moving further and further apart. So one person has to either go this way or the other person has to go this way, and it's harder for the regressed person, if they're not aware, to go forward. But it's also hard for the other person to go backwards, because then they're going back into old territory. It's kind of like a waste of their time almost. I mean, nothing is ever really a waste of time because we always learn something. But if somebody wants to go back, that means they have to relearn all these things. And you should never try to pull somebody forward. Somebody should always try to be moving forward as well. And I hope those hand gestures helped. uh, uh, I want you guys to, I don't know if you can see it, but take a look at my amazing goddess makeup that I have on today. I'm feeling just so very, just lovely. So, onto the cards. Everything happens for a reason. And even though the reason is sometimes unclear, I graciously accept all that transpires, in the knowing that it unfolds through love in accordance with the divine will of my soul. There's always a reason for everything, and sometimes you get the reason after the fact, and then it kind of all clicks and makes sense, and you're like, oh, yeah, alright, I see. And then, sometimes you get it right away. And it's really important just to pay attention to those things that stir the most in you. If something is kind of just blah, whatever to you, then it really isn't for you. It's not your lesson, it's not your thing. But if something really stirs within you and you feel a passion and a hate or love towards something, pay attention. And because today is a 22 day and it's the start of new things, I believe there's new ventures happening. I think I helped encourage some people to take the leap today, and I'm definitely taking leaps and bounds, starting off with this fabulous dress that I've had for a while. I don't wear it that often because it's just very special. It's a very beautiful, wonderful dress, and I mean, I almost feel like I should stand up and twirl, but you just don't want to see that. Or do you? Alright. So your soulmate's love surrounds you this very moment. Stop and feel it. Unconditional love glowing through the eternal flames of oneness. A spiritual union of two souls radiating light for the entire world to feel. Even if you don't have anybody in your life right now, there's somebody out there for you. Um, they are getting ready and learning their lessons to get to the point where you two are perfectly aligned to get together. So often we feel there's a disharmony between somebody that we meet that we really feel a connection to, but that just means that we're not ready and they're not ready, and patience is required. And trust me, I know that patience is a bitch. I can be the most impatient, obstinate, stubborn, wild woman possible, but that's part of the package. And taking a deep breath, relaxing, and realizing that everything will happen when it happens. Well, that's really what it is. Taking those times when I feel the most charged forward, ready, and nothing seems to be happening. I take that energy, and I now use it towards something constructive, like painting or dancing or running or screaming. Try not to scream as much, but it still helps. My mom always used to joke that she wanted to get me a punching bag because whenever I would get angry, she was like, "You just need to punch something," and I'm like, "You're right," and or strangle someone, or not. Don't strangle people. You are entering a period of positive change, deep and profound transformations that occur at the deepest level of your being. You emerge with a renewed passion for life, full of romance and creativity. Gateway. We are entering the portal. Changing of the guards. It's time to go forward. Have you learned all that you need to learn? Maybe, maybe not. If you haven't, there'll be some repeats for sure. The universe is always throwing us tests. It's always retesting us and seeing if we have figured it out yet. And if we haven't, then, you know, we might have to learn it a little bit more severely. But, you know, it's not the kind and unloving universe, it's just, it is. And we were the ones who chose not to pay attention in class. We were being the slackers. So don't be a slacker. Pay attention. I mean, there's always room for fun and enjoyment of self, but then there's overindulgence and overenjoyment and not paying attention to the signs. Always pay attention to the signs. Don't let anybody tell you that that's BS. People used to tell me that astrology was bullshit, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? No way. So I fought my hardest to learn even more than I knew that at that time. I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep learning it, and I'm going to be able to prove people wrong, because that's apparently what I like to do. I like to prove people wrong. It's an interesting trait of mine, but, you know, whatever. I mean, I know that most people, they're never going to admit that they're wrong, and you're just going to have to wait for them to come around. But if you can present them with all the right information and facts, at the point, you at least know that you're right. And I usually am. I don't know what that was, but what can I say? And if I'm wrong, I usually admit it at some point. Alright, so every experience, regardless of whether you perceive it as good or bad, comes with a gift attached. Yet sometimes the gift is only revealed with the passing of time. Trust all as it should be. Passing of time reveals answers. Sometimes it takes time for thoughts and minds and hearts to align, for people to understand what really is needed or what is the right answer, because our egos fight so hard against it for so long, and then we finally are realizing that we're banging our head up against the wall, you know, trying to convince ourselves that this is the right way when we've been denying this other way for so long, and we're like, oh yeah, because it's the right thing to do and the right way. And why have I been resisting it? Why have I been resisting something that will make me happy? Because we were afraid to be happy, because we didn't think we deserved it. And the last one, which is perfect. You are an angel of light. Before you I surrender past and future. All that matters most is this moment. My heart is transformed every time you're near. I think we keep getting that one, but I love it. You're all angels and beings of light. Surrender the past and don't worry about the future. All that matters is right now. Every time you are near somebody who transforms your heart, acknowledge that, whether it be positive or negatively, acknowledge it and try to understand it. Hi. My heart is transformed every time you're near. Meow. Come here. Oh, kitty meows. This is my guardian, my soulmate, my Ollie. He doesn't always make it in the shots, but he always comes around because he's like, I know you're doing a video, and I gotta get in the middle of it and meow because I'm here, because I'm Oliver. Look at this fluffy tail. You gonna get me some more mice, You gonna kill me some animals? Bring me some offerings? Yeah. Cat lady, unashamed, don't give a shit. I mean, I am a freaking tiger, after all, so... Rawr. And don't you forget it. is like the best Monday there's ever been. I know Mondays are usually have a negative connotation. Garfield. But why did I always wondered why Garfield hated Mondays. It's not like he had that much to do. Eat, sleep in his box. Sometimes Nermal came around. Oh, or Odie, and licked him. Garfield really loved Odie. He hated him so much that he loved him. Alright, we have some interesting cards for tomorrow. A little bit more action-oriented. Well, I mean, today is pretty action-oriented as well. We had all those knight cards, and I've even seen another person pull the tarot, card of the day was the Knight of Wands. I'm about to sneeze. Okay. So the punctuation mark is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is always conversation, actions, change, movement, words, thoughts. Usually a lot of people or a lot of ideas all kind of in conflict with each other in a sense that they don't always are all on the same wavelength, but and it says it's as defeat, but I never see it as defeat. I always see it as there is open conflict. People are not always agreeing on everything, and that's okay. But like knowing and feeling your point of view, and never losing sight of the fact that you know what you're talking about is I think the emphasis, the message here is that you will come up against probably some opposition or static, but never lose sight of your own point. So we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, the Sun upright, the Princess of Pentacles reversed, and Eight of Pentacles upright. So this is a day, I believe, of work. I think that there's going to be the Ace of Wands is always in reverse. It's like a brand new action, a brand new energy start. And in reverse, it's usually a very fertile energy. Something is taking ground and taking off very volatilely. I mean, and volatility in like a good way, not necessarily a bad way. Like when you light the grill, that kind of energy. And then we have the Sun, which brings us so much light and harmony and energy. So I think it's a really great, wonderful new start energy-wise. I see people running around and enjoying themselves together, and it's just, it's a really happy. There's like lots of sunflowers. It's a wide open field. It's like things are starting to open up, and there's light shining on the surrounding area, and you're able to see the field for the forest. Their blinders are coming off, which kind of goes along with our learning things and seeing new perspectives and things like that. The Princess of Pentacles is usually the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles in reverse usually can represent confusion and not quite sure where to go. It's messages, of practicality and understanding, or work towards a practical understanding of something or a practical action, and it's really talking about focusing on the work. You really have to make sure that you're doing the work. It's not just going to do itself, because we have the Eight of Pentacles. So there might be some distraction. Maybe there's some bright new energy that's coming into your life, but you have to not be distracted by it, because there's work to be done. There is still movement, still change, still you got your first you got your first quiz back and you did really well, but you're not finished through the course. You have to keep on studying. There's more information to learn. There's more things to do. There's projects. There's, you haven't finished the semester yet, or the quarter yet. You have to still keep your nose to the grindstone. Don't be distracted by that 1A. Don't give up already because you're like, oh, I've aced this class. I know everything. I got my grade on my first quiz and I did all right. Keep moving. Keep going forward. Keep, progressing. I kind of want to pull another card, actually. Oh, Two of Swords in reverse. So, conversations, conversing. There will be a deep, profound conversation. So I think that that's part of the work. I think you're going to have to have a conversation that may be difficult. It might be discussing where you want to go with this work, because you can't start something and then you just let go. I mean, if you start a project and you just start gluing things and then you get distracted, that project is never going to get finished. It's just going to get swept under on the table and nobody's going to it's never going to be seen out there. So you have to follow through. You have to have those conversations, because I think we've gotten the Two of Swords and the Five of Swords together several times. So you must have those conversations. You must come to an understanding, a deep, profound conclusion, in a sense, of where and what the hard work is working towards. Maybe it's in your job, your boss and you have a conference of where you see yourself going in this position, and they really like your work. But what are your goals? What are your plans? Where do you want to be? Where can they place you in terms of things? So with that, I think I'm going to leave you. Such a wonderful day. I can't wait to get out there and start doing things. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday and a great Tuesday. See you later.